Holy shit, everyone. KUSOMEGA Volume 2 just came out the other day, and the reviews have been coming in mostly positive. Some people somewhat critical of different things. There are certain things that I hope to change or evolve as I go forward in the series. Some things that probably were going to do that anyways, but I'm not going to give away too many spoilers. But for now, we're going to give some updates on the future of KUSOMEGA, because while I do have Volume 3 in the works already, more importantly than that is that I want to do a physical release of the first two volumes combined into one book. That will be the first of 3 total physical releases, because books 3 and 4 will be longer than books 1 and 2. Now the plan for this is that I have to do a Kickstarter to print. I'm going to try to print 1,000 copies as the first run. I would be shocked if I can sell through 1,000 copies in any kind of quick time frame, but obviously most of the people backing this thing on Kickstarter will get the book. I'm only planning to make it $15 for this book, plus shipping and handling. If you buy it, you have to, have your own shipping and handling figured out for wherever you live in the world, because it's vastly different depending on place, and I will be shipping these out myself. I will be signing each copy that people make. But, in order to realize this physical version, I want it to be loaded with great art. So I've drawn up a plan for all the different things that I want to be added to the full project. So here's all the things that I'm going to need before I can make a physical version of this book. First, I need one consistent set of front of book character art. So I'm going to have the 6 main characters: Takuma, Baika, Exia, Aether, Soraya, and Gil, all in, the traditional light novel front of book character illustration style. And I want to have one person to draw all of them, so that there's one consistent set that you can see as like the official character designs of the printed book. But then there will also be 4 different variant covers that will be sold through the Kickstarter. Whichever one turns out to be the most popular, whichever one people want the most through the Kickstarter, will be the one that all the future releases after the Kickstarter will be printed as. And there'll also have to be somebody who does art for the back cover, which will be one consistent back cover across all 4 variants, so it won't have bleed through to the front. I want 12 illustrations for key scenes, just 1-page illustration. I have a list of scenes. I'm going to get to that in a bit. And then, and this is the biggest part, the biggest draw of the book, particularly for me, is 12 different Omake comics, each of them 1 or 2 pages long. Omake manga, I should say, as they are right to left. I have already storyboarded them all. In fact, if you just want to go read my storyboard versions, because they're viable as reading material, you can understand what's happening. It's just, my art, uncolored, and handwritten text. But nonetheless, the storyboards are all there. You can read all these Omake comics that I wrote for KUSOMEGA. You have let me go through them all in order. You have the Monk and Soraya 4-Coma, a little comedy short. You've got Evermere Life, which stars Buck Pummel and Darian Bainesblood from Evermere, if you remember those characters from the first book. You've got the Byla and Crom comic, if you wanted to see what both of them look like through my style. Then you've got Takuma x Exia, which is a softcore pornographic manga about those two. By the way, several of these manga are listed as NSFW. None of them are hardcore. I'm trying to go for like a 16+ softcore kind of rating with this book. I mean, probably 18+ by American standards, but still, I'm not going to show any cock or pussy. But nonetheless, there is sex in some of these comics. There is the Southern Capital Life comic starring Randall, the cousin of Baika. Then you've got the Baika x Soraya sexy comic about the two of them just having a bath and laying in bed together. And then finally you've got the Jimbali Village Life comic with Gil and her father rebuilding the town of Jimbali. And then also there's 5 more 1-page comics. Those are all the 2-page ones. But there's 5 more 1-page comics, which are each parodies of the different, or examples, I should say, of each of the different books that Takuma writes. So you've got the 1-page or emo retard comic. You've got Wife Isekai #1. You've got Sex King of Another World Brothel and 18 Races of Beast Girl Lusting for My Human Body. and reincarnated in another world as a moderately sized convection oven. So I've got comics for all those. The storyboards are all in the description, as well as all the other information for anybody who wants to contribute to this book. I will be rearranging the book itself for print, so it will be like heavily designed. I'm really going all in on the design of this book. I want it to be like a complete experience. I want it to be a great physical edition that you would choose to read, even in spite of the fact that there are, easily available free versions online of me reading the whole thing. So, if you want to contribute, if you want to be an artist on this novel, well, there's only so much money to go around. So at whatever rate artists pitch to me that they want certain jobs, and at which I, take them and assign them, will be however fast this fills up is how fast it fills up. I'm probably going to contact a large number of the artists who have already done work, for KUSOMEGA on Twitter, and contact them about whether they wanted to contribute to this book. But everybody's going to get paid. Basically, one-page illustration I consider to be $50, and a comic is $100 a page. So that's pretty much the way that this is going to be formatted. Again, you can look in the description. If you want to contribute to this project, please send me an email to kusomega@gmail.com containing the following information. I need to know what part you want to do, or what parts you want to do. You can sign up, ask for as many as you want. I'll assign you however many I see fit, if any. And let me know how fast you can do it, because the deadline for all of these things to be done is going to be March 16th. I want it all done before RadCon is over, so I can launch my Kickstarter right after RadCon 4. Examples of, also I want you to in your email, link examples of similar work that you've done, especially if you've done any KUSOMEGA art. If you have art that you already have completed and you think it fits one of the criteria that I've talked about, like one of the cover arts, for instance, you can go ahead and submit that, or you can make touch-ups to it. I'll probably be contacting some of the people who already made great covers and asking them if they want to be paid to let those be in my book. If you already have an idea of how you want to handle one of the illustrations that is suggested, then you can go ahead and pitch it to me. Describe to me what you want to do, or or just draw it if you don't really care. But let me tell you that while the work is all due on March 16th, so if you cannot have it done by then, do not take any of these jobs. If you're not almost done by the 15th, I will cancel your part and either do it myself or find someone else who can do it in a day. But just so you know, because this is a crowdfunded, Kickstarter-backed thing, no one will be getting paid until the Kickstarter is over, which means that it will be at least a month between you finishing your work and you getting paid. I want all the parts to be done before the Kickstarter because I'm going to print test copies of the book. Once all of the art is done, once everything's complete for the book, I'm going to print test copies to make sure that I can get the best possible quality print job done on this to make sure nothing gets fucked up. And then I will launch the Kickstarter once I have the physical edition that I can show you is good and complete and what I want it to be. And then we'll launch the Kickstarter. So if if you're afraid, if you don't want to do work that you're not going to get paid for immediately, then don't take this job. But if you want to get paid $50 when the Kickstarter's over, or $100 or however much, depending on how much work you're doing, go ahead and shoot me an email. There's more information again in the document. If I decide that I think you're right for the role, I will offer you a contract, which is to make the legal distinction that I am making a one-time purchase of your artwork based on my intellectual property for the specified commercial use of appearing in the physical releases that you're included in from the Kickstarter. I will also be allowed to print further runs of this work without paying anyone royalties. Not that I wouldn't want to, but I am not a publisher. I'm just a guy, and I don't need any complications in my life. So, if you go to the document in the description, you will see that there's a list, and each of the things that has already been taken will be grayed out and struck through on this list. If I've already told somebody that they can do this part, I'm just going to, gray it out. So anything that's not grayed out means I haven't picked somebody yet to do it. But anyways, so there will be the full character art set, the 4 front cover variants, the back cover, the 12 different scene illustrations. I'll read off which scenes I want illustrated. There will be Takuma getting hit by a truck in Chapter 1, the slime landing on his head in Chapter 3, him and Exia arguing about tits at the start of Chapter 4, Exia's back in the sunlight, the morning sunlight in Chapter 5, Baika seeing Crom leap holding Takuma from the manor in Chapter 8, who cares what chapter numbers they are, and Akira antagonizing Takuma during their final confrontation in Book 1. Then there will be Gil running away from a flaming bear in Book 2, Soraya naked by the well, Gil hugging her dad emotionally, the scene of Soraya and Baika under the tree together, Takuma storming off from the training ground, and Soraya beating Eames Rongoid. Each of those I want an illustration of. Again, there's more details in the document, as well as people to draw each of these comics. And there are other things. If you go into this document, there is also a link to my full plan for the Kickstarter. So if you want to look at that and tell me how you actually feel about the plans I have, my current plan basically involves a $5,000 baseline that we're trying to hit, which I am sure we can blow through immediately. The stretch goals are that for $8,000, I'll draw another 12-page Magical Girl Gil comic that will go in the book as well. If we can, I will then set an outrageously higher stretch goals of $18,000, and at that point, I'll create a 100-page KUSOMEGA fan art book. So basically, I'll just pay tons of people who have done art for KUSOMEGA to compile their artwork into an art book that will be created separately from the main book, but sold alongside it in the Kickstarter or in the future. And then at $20,000, I will have a free additional signed 11 by 17 KUSOMEGA poster for all the $30 plus backers. That's just my current idea, so go ahead and look at that. Oh, also the different reward tiers. For $1, you'll get to download all the drafts and storyboards for the new elements of the physical release. That includes the storyboards that are already in this video's description, as well as some other drafts for pages that I don't need anybody to draw for me. For $5, you'll be listed as a backer on the KUSOMEGA website. That's the other thing I'm here to announce, is that there is now a KUSOMEGA website. You can get there just by typing kusomega.com. Though it is actually on kusomega.webnode.com, and it has a fan art page where I have compiled all of the KUSOMEGA fan art. There are well over 100 fan arts for KUSOMEGA. Tons of it is incredible. If you make any fan art for this series, and you want it posted on this page, just contact me. Currently, it's all embeds of tweets, because the way that people have been reaching me with their art is through tweets. There are some people who have made art that they did not post on Twitter. I want everything to be credited and to link back to the artist, so unless you don't care, in which case let me know. But if you have art you want posted on this site, tell me, send it to me, let me know how to credit you. If not through Twitter. But yeah, that's the fan art page is massive. It's beautiful. I still have not had the time to go through and just actually look at every single one of them in a row, because there's so fucking many. I was just copy pasting codes all night. But yeah, so you can read the story on the website. You can look at it. Anything that's related to it will be there, including probably this video and. And the links in the description. So, yeah, anything you need to know about the story will be collected on this website for ease of use, so that there won't be stuff spread all over the internet. I wanted a collection of all the fan art, especially since I did not invent the hashtag before the first book, foolishly. But, yeah, so that's basically it. Go ahead. If you want to do one of the jobs for the book, go into the description, read all the stuff. I've got tons of notes. There's tons of details. If you just want to have more fun with KUSOMEGA, you want to look at all the amazing fan art that's been made, go to the website. If you want to read the comics that I have storyboarded before, you can read them now, and then later you'll get to see them look actually good when people redraw them. Or you can just wait. Anyways, that's it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.